guys, it's Benny. I don't get shook very often on this channel, but a year ago, while researching a Jeffrey Epstein story, we came across this obscure clip of Cindy McCain at an obscure symposium on human trafficking. And she said this about Jeffrey Epstein. Remember, this is John McCain's wife.
It hides in plain sight. Epstein was hiding in plain sight. We all knew about him. We all knew what he was doing. But we had no one that was, legal aspect that would go after him. They were afraid of him. For whatever reason, they were afraid of him.
She says so much there in these moments. First off, she's one of the most powerful women in America. Her husband ran for president, was the Republican nominee. Her husband was the most powerful senator in the entire Senate. That's inarguable. This is the elite ruling class speaking here. She says, we knew him, we knew everything he was doing, but we refused to do anything about it. Why? Because no one would go after him. We couldn't find any legal way to go after him. All law enforcement said, don't touch him. Well, of course, now we know that Jeffrey Epstein was intel. He belonged to the intelligence agencies, the FBI, the CIA, Mossad. We're aware that that's probably part of the problem here, but a much larger problem is that they were scared of Jeffrey Epstein. They were fearful of what would happen if they dared cross Jeffrey Epstein, and now somebody who did cross Jeffrey Epstein is dead. I'm not suicidal, says Virginia Roberts in chilling message right before her suicide. Well, a few years before, but nonetheless. Virginia Roberts was the foremost, most famous whistleblower against Jeffrey Epstein and his crimes. Virginia Roberts is somebody who was paid out by the royal family what has to be tens of millions of dollars. They didn't disclose the sum because she was sex trafficked to the royal family. And she's somebody who wound up dead this weekend. Now, there are a lot of questions to be asked about this mysterious death, 7 unanswered questions about Virginia Roberts' tragic death, and the truth about Andrew's payout in the final days. This is Prince Andrew. She was the brave sexual abuse survivor who gave a voice to the voiceless, but now the tragic death of Virginia Roberts has opened up a Pandora's box of unanswered questions. Like, for instance, she was just hit by a bus, which she was, and now she's dead and nobody can explain why. The most prominent victim predator of Jeffrey Epstein was found unresponsive by police at a remote farmhouse an hour north of Perth, Australia, late on Friday night, with her family revealing the 41-year-old died by suicide. Okay. In a statement, they said Guthrie lost her life due to suicide. Virginia was a fierce warrior. Despite the adversity she faced in life, she shone so bright. Okay. But, like, anything else on there? Nothing? She was long alleged that they groomed and trafficked her to Prince Andrew when she was 17. Since reaching a multi-million-pound out-of-court settlement with Andrew in 2022, Virginia largely stayed out of the public eye, living at with her family in Perth. That, however, changed when she made a dramatic post on Instagram just a few weeks ago, badly bruised and in the hospital because a bus had hit her while she was driving in like the middle of a field, out in the middle of the rural Australian outback. So, what caused her shocking death? We don't know. Okay, can we get that information? Will the details of Andrew's payout be revealed? How much money did he pay her? Like, under what, auspices? What really happened to the car accident? She posted a photo of herself that made quick headlines around the world. Here, she is all bruised up, banged up. She said that she would not live. I've gone into kidney failure. They've given me 4 days to live. Huh? How was she hit by a bus driver? According to the police reports, the bus driver didn't even stop. It also emerged that no charges were brought against either driver, with the incidents only reported by the cops the following day by the bus driver? What? What caused the marriage breakdown with her and her husband? Okay. Will this be the end of Andrew's comeback hopes? This is focusing on Prince Andrew here. Tons of really mysterious questions, like how did she die? And of course, here's the famous photo. There's so many questions here, and we're not the only ones asking them. Jeffrey Epstein's victim Virginia Roberts' lawyer cast doubt on her suicide. She goes by Virginia Roberts in most media stories, but she's since changed her name to Virginia Guffrey. But either way, it's the same person. We've got big question marks over it. So now her lawyer is calling this into question. Lawyer for Jeffrey Epstein's victim, Virginia Roberts, who killed herself at her home in Australia, has cast doubt on her suicide, insisting we've got big questions over it. Carrie Loudon claimed the 41-year-old mother had shown no signs of wanting to harm herself before she was found dead. When I got the phone call, I was like, are you joking? This wasn't even something that she was considering. Loudon, who had represented Guffrey since January, expressed skepticism over the family's shocking announcement that she had taken her life. There's suicide, and then there's misadventure, Loudon claimed. I didn't see her in the room. I wasn't there. The family said what the family said. But I'm not going to speculate as to whether it was suicide or an accident. Accident. Got it? Accident. Guffrey's death came just weeks after she took to social media to claim she had days to live after a strange crash with a school bus. She was sex trafficked by Epstein. Goodness. What does Donald Trump have to say about this? He was asked, made a little bit of news here.
Do you have a reaction to Virginia Guffrey's suicide in Australia?
Well, it's a very sad situation, the whole thing. That whole situation is very sad, her and others. And so certainly that's a horrible thing, horrible.
So Donald Trump says that it's not just Virginia Guffrey who's been suicided. The whole situation is very sad. Her and others. Well, that would lock in with Ghislaine Maxwell, who, of course, is in the very famous photo. This photo right here. Ghislaine Maxwell, allegedly the one who trafficked her to Prince Andrew. She's on camera from her jail cell in a white-collar resort prison here in Florida. She's the only one who ever is going to do any time for all of these crimes. Ghislaine Maxwell, whose dad was a Mossad agent and worked with the IDF. Ghislaine Maxwell, who was literally working for the Israeli intelligence agencies here in a posh prison, saying, Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. That's just how it's done.
No, he didn't. I don't believe he did. I believe that he was murdered. Well, I was shocked. And I wondered how it had happened. Because as far as I was concerned, he was going to... I was sure he was going to appeal.
Now the lawyer has come out and said the same thing. Virginia didn't kill herself. Her lawyer broke her silence, insisting that there's absolutely no indication that her client took her own life, distancing herself from the family, who's publicly stated that they believe it was suicide. Attorney Carrie Loudon says that she was stunned by the news. Authorities reportedly spent 12 hours gathering evidence before the body was removed for examination. No suicide note was found at the scene. Officials now warn that it could take up to 2 years before full answers are available. Huh? What now? Okay, got it. Right. In case you're wondering exactly how excited the scared, powerful people are, like Cindy McCain or like Bill Gates, who, of course, destroyed his marriage and his life over his deep friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, just go ahead and watch how giddy Bill Gates is when he talks about Jeffrey Epstein's suicide. You've never seen a happier man than this.
For you, for anyone else looking at this?
Well, he's dead. So, in general, you always have to be careful.
Look at this sick grin on the guy's face. Look at it. He's smiling. Bill Gates knows exactly what happened. Does he know what happened to Virginia? You know, the ex-girlfriend of Prince Andrew is out on social media liking posts about her suicide and saying she had it coming. Well, this is just what happens when it catches up to you, right? Who catches up to you? Why is the family saying this? I don't know. I don't know her family at all. Here's what I am saying, and it's the reason why I started with this. These people have so much power and so much influence that they're able to literally just push around some of the most powerful women and men in all of society. They have so many resources. They can change you, right? They can force you to say things. They can force you to not say things. Remember what she says here. Remember what Cindy McCain says here. We all knew what Epstein was doing.
Epstein was hiding in plain sight. We all knew about him. We all knew what he was doing.
They know. They know, and they were blackmailed into not saying anything. How? By whom? That's the real question. This is why we need the Epstein files. That's why you got to have them. Okay? You got to have them. We have to keep insisting. We have to keep pushing. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See ya.